Coming up next on Linebaugh Library, we find out more about the Friends of Linebaugh and how they offer a helping hand to the library. Plus, we meet Fred, the newest four-legged phenom for youth services, and find out how one patron's visit to the tech led to a promising new career. There are so many fun things happening at your local library, and we're excited to tell you about them. First, we continue our look at the origins of Linebaugh, and today, the end of the 1980s brought one of the biggest changes ever for the library. Let's go back in time to find out more as we check out our Linebaugh Rewind.
The need for more space for the library was a widely discussed topic as the 1980s drew to a close. The library board wanted to add 5,000 square feet to the existing property. While funding for the project seemed in place, a new obstacle arose. The building had to meet new fire and accessibility requirements by the state, and those costs would have been between $100,000 and $400,000. It forced board members to re-examine their game plan. Options discussed included moving to another site or building a brand new library. In 1987, the board applied for a grant from the newly formed Christie Houston Foundation. Linebaugh was awarded almost $1.5 million in addition to using funds provided by the city and county to build a new 30,000 square foot building. As the grant process was in the works, existing buildings were also being scouted, including the Critchlow School property, which is now home to the Rutherford County Health Department, and the Central Middle School property, now home to Central Magnet. That particular property would find an interesting battle of opinions. Some local residents circulated a petition to keep the library out of their neighborhood. Another petition circulated from citizens strongly supported the Central Middle property as the site of the new library. Linebaugh was ultimately denied the property by the county school board. Big things were still in the works as the new location for Linebaugh would become part of a major construction plan downtown. More on that in the next episode.
The Friends of Linebaugh Library Group was established in 1981 to promote the interest and welfare of the library to the community. Today, we find out more about this group and their plans for 2020 as we hear a word from our branches.
Throughout the years, Linebaugh Library has had a number of generous supporters. One of the biggest has been a group called the Friends of Linebaugh Library.
What we did when they first organized it, they were looking to provide funding for things that the library couldn't find money for in their budget. So they started a small group. We have grown over the years and we have provided more and more funds. We've bought things like this copier that we have in this room here that copies all sorts of genealogical paperwork. We buy books for them when they need it. We buy carts so they can move those books around. We also provide things for the staff, such as we give them, we pay for their food on their staff development days. We give them a thank you gift at the end of the year around Christmas. And we just generally do everything we can to support the staff.
Some of the biggest events of the Friends of Linebaugh are the book sales.
We have so many books in our bookstore that have been donated to us. The people of Murfreesboro and the surrounding area are extremely generous, and so we sell them. We have 10 sales a year. We have 2 that are just for members only. The first of those is coming up February 8th. And then we have public sales. We have 8 public sales a year. We have the first one of those February 15th. They are downstairs in our bookstore in the parking garage, and we expand outside the garage. We have a lot of books outside. We can't get them all inside.
In addition to those sales, Penalt says there's another great and affordable opportunity to purchase books.
We also have so many books that we don't have room for all of them in our bookstore, and so we have an area downstairs in the library next to the elevator where you can buy books and fill up a grocery bag, a plastic grocery bag, for only $2. Those are so popular. People love to dig through them and find all sorts of treasures. So it's a very popular thing that we provide and a very economical thing for people who like to read.
The Friends group also brings in nationally known authors to speak at different engagements.
in addition to our book sales coming up, we have two big events. The first is in January, where every year we bring an author and have an author luncheon. The author speaks, sells books, autographs books, and then in the fall we have an event called Pen Pals, and this is through the schools. We bring authors of children or lots of time young adult books, and we bring them here. They speak in 6 schools which can sign up, and it's a first come first served basis, and then they do a program at the library during the time they're here.
A publication with the latest book information and purchased by the Friends of Linebaugh is available to patrons that visit.
And one of the things that we do for patrons of the library is we purchase the book page, which is a periodical that comes out monthly, and it has all sorts of information about books, books that are coming out in the next month or so. They review audiobooks, they have children's books, they have different genres, they have features on some of the authors, and it's just a marvelous way to know more about books that are coming out.
If you're interested in contributing to your local library, you may want to be a friend too.
We are always looking for more friends. We have our membership drive in January, but we are looking for friends anytime during the year. We have our brochures at the circulation desk downstairs at the Linebaugh Library. We have information on our website, which is a page off the Linebaugh website. You go to support groups and you find the Friends of Linebaugh Library, and you can find information there about how to become a member. We are always looking for people to get involved, not just by paying dues and supporting us financially, but we're looking for people who can help us with our events, who can help work in the bookstore, who can do anything. We have so many things you can help with, and we're always looking for volunteers to do that.
Many patrons visit our local branches to make themselves a little better. One patron of the Technology Engagement Center actually used his time to launch a career. Find out more about this inspirational story as we're talking tech.
The Technology Engagement Center is a great opportunity for patrons to use computers and resources they may not have at home. One patron used his time at the tech to eventually land a job in his chosen profession.
My career, I am a front-end developer, junior developer. I'm just starting at it, but having a great time and programming, that kind of stuff. I love it.
Meet James Arnold. He says the tech was an ideal place for him to hone his skills to be a developer.
A big thing for me was internet. I was watching a lot of videos and the internet was fast here, and I was able to never get a hiccup in my tutorials.
Arnold also began participating with the Borough Dev Group that meets there every month.
It's just a group of developers for the Murfreesboro area, and it's just a place to come and talk about new technologies or what somebody's currently working on. It's just a place of community for people who program.
Borough Dev meets every 3rd and 4th Mondays of the month, and topics and discussions can be very beneficial to a programmer's career.
Well, it can be very general, as in the day in the life of a programmer, or it can get very specific on one of the many tech stacks out there. It's really dependent on the person, but we don't have a set rule on what can be discussed in there as long as it fits in the programming universe.
Arnold adds if one really wants to learn more about technology, the tech is the place to be, and Borough Dev is the group to join.
The resource here, if you have any interest in tech, please come to the Tech Center. It's a great place, And with Borough Dev, they've, it's a place to go and meet people that do the things you like or want to like. They were very open to me, and every time it came around, it was enough to motivate me to keep me learning and getting better at it and eventually getting me a job.
Last year, we told you about Stevie, the 4-legged friend who lets kids read to her each month. Well, today we introduce you to Fred, who, like Stevie, wants to share in your kids' favorite books. Let's find out more about Fred as we bring the fun.
Fred is the latest member of the Linebaugh family, and he can't wait to meet young readers.
Fred is a 3-year-old Pembroke Corgi. We've had him since he was a puppy, since he was about 8 weeks old, and he has been doing therapy work since, I guess, this May is when he got registered. So we've been going to hospitals and the Rutherford Juvenile Detention Center and the Veterans Home in Murfreesboro. But Read is something new that we're doing. So when we started doing therapy work, we knew about Read, but we weren't involved in it because it's a separate certification on top of regular therapy dog work. But we knew that we wanted to do it. So we got registered, and then we were really just looking for a good place to do it. Linebaugh is one of the biggest libraries in Murfreesboro, and they already had Cheryl and her dog doing it. So we thought that would be a good place to start.
Jones adds Fred is taken to the kids that read to him.
Fred loves everybody, but I think he has a special reaction to kids. They have a different energy than adults do, and he responds really well to it. He's very gentle with them.
Kids love taking part in the reading program, one which Jones feels is very important to children.
I think it's really fantastic that they have this program and that they're organizing it all. Not every library has something like this, especially in smaller communities. So I think it's special that Linebaugh is doing this.
For Jones and Davidson, this is personally an important program in which to be involved.
I love Fred, I love our dogs, and I want to be involved in the community. So being involved in Read is just a really fantastic way to kind of, I guess, share our love of dogs with other people and also, help them achieve something. I think it's really important that kids learn how to read, and this is a fantastic way for them to practice that, especially kids who are a little bit nervous. Fred doesn't judge. He doesn't care if you trip over your words or anything like that.
So if your child is wanting to participate, Fred will be at the library on the third Wednesdays of the month from 3 to 4:30. Registration is required, so contact Youth Services for more information.
There's a lot happening at the local branches of the Rutherford County Library System in the next several months. Here are just some of the big events coming up. The 2020 Master Gardeners classes start again on Saturday, February 1st at 9 a.m. on the second floor at Linebaugh. All branches will be closed on February 17th for President's Day. Local author Beth Brock will be signing and selling copies of her book, My Name is Ryan, on Tuesday, March 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Need to find some grants? Then check out the Crash Course Foundation Directory online on Thursday, March 12th at 1:50 p.m. at the Technology Engagement Center. Visit Linebaugh on the second Saturday of each month beginning in March for Full Steam Ahead, an event exploring science, technology, engineering, arts, and math with fun, hands-on activities that are sure to excite and challenge young minds. Free for all ages 8 to 12. Local author Rebecca Troyer will be signing and selling her book Beyond the Brokenness, The Adventurous Heart of an Amish Girl on Tuesday, April 7th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bring your favorite teddy bear to Linebaugh on Wednesday, April 22nd at 10 a.m. for the Teddy Bear Picnic 2020. So that's going to wrap it up for this show. As you've seen, there's a lot to do at Linebaugh, and we haven't come close to telling you about everything else that's happening here. You can always go to their website at rclstn.org to find out about upcoming events, classes, clubs, groups, and more. Or you can stop at one of the 4 major locations: the main branch on West Vine Street, the Myrtle Glanton Lord Library inside Patterson Park, and branches in Eagleville and Smyrna. Also be on the lookout for the library's bookmobile. Plus, if you're in need of computer access, visit the Technology Engagement Center located on Minerva Drive. If you haven't been to any of our library locations, you're missing out. From books to DVDs to activities to so much more, take the time to visit your local library. Thanks for watching.